Hey everyone, Zach here. Hope everybody's enjoying their, what is it, Wednesday now, I think? Wednesday night? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday, right? Wednesday, yes. Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's enjoying their Wednesday evening. Enjoying some of the cold temperatures there in the Northeast. A little chilly here in the Midwest. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to give it a minute here like I always do. Let people kind of get in here. I'll answer some quick questions that come in the chat. And then from here, for like the next 15, 20 minutes after we get people in here, we'll dive into some of the forecasts, some of the changes that the forecast has made, some of the changes it hasn't made, and we'll go from there. Thursday for you, yeah, I guess if you're in a different area of the world. But mainly what we're monitoring with the latest updates is, really not much changing. There are some minor changes, but nothing that is significant, right? I would say the biggest changes in the last 24 hours have been the winter storm watches that have come out, as well as GFS maybe shifting a little bit to the east on that north east storm, and as well as the Euro maybe going inland a little bit. Those are only major changes I've seen. Um, when it comes to this event. We do have winter storm watches now out across South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Those will likely extend southeast, but we'll get to that here in a second. It's definitely I've seen a lot of frustration coming from this forecast. A lot of people aren't sure what they're going to get, and it's like that every snowstorm. It's like that. This is not something unusual. This is pretty usual for these type of storm events. But let's go ahead and get into the action. Yeah. So in front of you is a little forecast diagram I drew up earlier. Through tomorrow and Friday, there's going to be this can be pretty much the beginning of this winter event, right? It's going to start up in the Canadian border and the U.S. border there in North Dakota, and it's going to drive southeast right out the gate, right? It's going to impact areas like North Dakota. Let me get my pen. I do this every time. I'm going to make that into a t-shirt. It just says, let me get my pen up. Come on. There it is. So what we're watching is the snow's going to start developing back here, okay, across North Dakota, right at the Canadian border. And like I said, it's going to shoot southeast right out the gate, okay? That's been forecasted like that for a while now. I would say pretty consistent models showing that the system is going to trek southeast out of Canada into the U.S., right? The reason why I have it stopping right here at the Missouri and Iowa border is simply because I think going into, well, first off, this is where the winter storm watch currently exists, right? Excuse me. This is where the winter storm watch currently exists. So that's why it's kind of halted right there. I do think the greatest chance of 5 inches or more will continue southeast by tomorrow's live forecast discussion. However, as of right now, this is where my confidence sit at the greatest chance for 5 inches or more Thursday and Friday. This is going into Friday evening. Okay, we got the snow starting back up here Thursday, and then it goes like this through Thursday and into Friday. And as of right now, that's my confidence. That's where I think it's going to be the worst going into Friday. Now let's switch to the Northeast, right? Okay, looking at the Northeast. Now you're seeing a lot of different colors, right? Makes sense, okay? But as you can tell, there's no totals on the map yet. There's a reason for that, okay? I don't know if this is going to be okay, so I'm trying to explain this where I can make it understandable. I don't know exactly what the snowfall totals are going to be just yet. Okay, we're still early into this system. This isn't forecasted until Sunday and Monday, right? So that's still 3, 4, or 5 days away. So there's a lot that can change in this purple shaded area between now and Sunday. A lot that can change. But I do feel confident at least putting something out that targets a certain area, right? I'm not saying that this isn't going to shift south. This could easily come down here and do a purple all the way through here. That's exactly why there's 2 yellow arrows here at the low pressure system and a giant question mark. Okay, we don't know which path this low is going to take. We do know that Euro is now pushing it a little bit further inland, kind of like one of these. And that's right where the purple line stops, and that's why I have that out. I'm just simply going off of the latest Euro for the most part. I definitely think there's no matter what, I think there's gonna be heavy snow right along this region. I don't think it's really gonna matter where that low goes, because even if it comes out like this, you're still gonna get heavy snow up there. But we don't know, right? That's the big question right now. Keep in mind, I know the low pressure symbol here is covering it, but this heavy snow does go all the way back into Georgia as well. I know a lot of people are talking about living in North Georgia and wanting to know, oh my goodness, are we going to get snow? Latest models will really kick in the heavier stuff back here, probably in higher elevations, though. That's the catch. But right now, like it says, area to monitor for heavy snowfall accumulation through Monday. That's just an area to monitor. Okay, that doesn't mean, oh my goodness, we're going to get 25 inches of snow in here. Okay, that's not what that means at all. It just means if you live in this area, if your city's on this map and it's shaded, you need to be prepared for that. Okay, I typed this up earlier, I got it all drawn out, and I think it looks pretty cool. And then, I know this is kind of off topic, but here's my new logo for the YouTube channel. It's a tornado and a lightning strike on the YouTube sign. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, so you got the low again right now, according to Euro, has it pushing a little bit further inland, but we're still waiting to see if maybe it does a little coastal run. Right, that's just what we're waiting on. I know it's confusing. It's confusing me too. So this is the late. Hold on, let me make sure that's all accurate. I don't think 18Z goes far enough yet. No. So this is the 12Z European model run. Okay, for the area in the Northeast. We'll get back to the Midwest here in a second, but the Northeast is a little bit more concerning. I think the Northeast will be a much higher chance at seeing significant snowfall over the weekend. But you see the corridor here of heavy snow indicated by the pinks and the blues. That pretty much matches what my map says, right? Well, that's pretty much what I did. I just made it easier so you guys could see it, right? And then someone asked what the blue was. Blue is just lighter snow possibilities, lighter snow accumulation. But this corridor right through here, where all these pinks and reds are, that's where the heaviest snow is expected, okay? And it's pretty wide. It takes up, I would say, 90% of the Northeast, right? The only areas not seeing it are right along the border, right? Right along right along the coastline. Right where that low right now is forecast to trek is right through here. So a lot of this area is going to be probably light snowfall accumulation transitioning into rainfall. That's what I would forecast right now. However, again, still 4 or 5 days out. That could change. We could get a coastal low pressure system that all of a sudden this mess comes down and includes the entire coastline, including areas like Long Island, New York City, all through there. So we'll have to monitor that. Let's go to precipitation type and rate. I think I closed my tropical tidbits tablet yet, yeah, I did. All right, let's back up to when it's actually moving across the region here. Let's switch to the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, so here's your Euro, right? Taking a weird path, about 999 millibar off the coast of South Carolina, right? Meanwhile, it's dumping heavy snow, especially in higher elevations, all the way back towards eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, where these dark blues are right through here. Eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, probably northern Georgia and higher elevations, much of West Virginia, much of Virginia. And then you notice how it's all rain back here. That's why I said when it's going to transition into rain. Let's go up another 3 hours here. There's that low now down to 994 millibars. All that heavy snow punching through the Northeast. Right now, it's taking kind of a coastal run. We'll see how that trends. I still think it trends kind of inland like this. But you see all this rain. So it's snowing up here, but you got this rain that's going to fall right behind it. That's why I said the snow may transition into rain. And when that low pressure system passes, it'll warm up a little bit and that snow will melt. It won't stay on the ground very long. Okay, so now you see the low pressure system at one point. Let me go down here. That low at one point was down here, right? And now it's taking that sharp curve up. Instead of going out like this, it's going straight northeast. Pretty much making a beeline for like Washington, D.C., right? Go to the next update. There it is again at a 990 or 983 millibar. Heavy snowfall falling down. This would be very early Monday morning. We're going about 3 o'clock in the morning here. All that heavy snow probably was already through Washington, D.C. at this point, but now it's starting to rain. So all this snow right through here that just fell across southern New Jersey, portions of Maryland, Delaware, now it's raining. That low pressure system getting north, you're transitioning into warmer temperatures as well as rainfall. Let's go ahead another 3 hours here. Now it takes a little jump to the left a little bit. It appears 982 keeps dropping though. And now it's really ramping up in snow bands all across Pennsylvania, probably ramping up here across New York, Connecticut. But again, that heavy rain coming in behind it. But that 982, look how far away it is from that projected path. It could either go something like this, or it could go exactly the way that it's forecasted to go right now. We'll monitor that over the next few scans. Let's go another 3 hours. We're now getting into 9 o'clock a.m. 9 o'clock a.m., that low pressure over eastern PA, 982 still remains, but it's inland, right? It's not riding the coast. It's inland. That's the difference between yesterday's Euro model runs and today's. Yesterday it had kind of a, hold on. Yesterday it kind of had a coastal run, right? It was that low pressure was hanging off the coast, kind of like this, and then we were really getting concerned about heavy snow all through here. But that today's run, it kind of shifted inland a little bit, which isn't unusual for winter storms, but I wouldn't count on it just yet. Let's actually switch up to northeast now. So there's that 982 low pressure. It sticks with 982 for about 6 to 9 hours now. Let's see, what time are we at right now? We're now at noon on Monday. Okay, so this is Monday at noon. So back here by noon on Monday, you guys have already gotten your snow, according to the European. 982, look how far inland it is now, staying pretty far up there. So heaviest snowfall now occurring across upstate New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, going into Maine. And then all down through here, you were probably once snowing, especially in areas like Long Island, southern New Jersey, Delaware. You guys had snow at one point, but it quickly transitioned into that rainfall because of just how the low pressure takes. Another thing we're going to get into today as well is the ice potential. You see a lot of purples here along the divider between snow and rain. That could be that's freezing rain potential. Okay, you can see some pretty decent ice events. Let me check some comments. Yeah, I'm not even going to look at GFS probably. I might dip into it just for fun, but I'm not really going to spend a lot of my time looking into it. So a lot of you guys are probably getting, like on your cell phone apps, you're probably seeing, we'll get into the ice here in a second. You're probably seeing a lot of your phone apps, if you live directly here on the East Coast, along the coastline, a lot of your phone apps are probably saying rain, right? They're probably not saying, some phone apps might be saying snow mixed with rain, which would be more accurate. But I've seen a lot of people message me earlier saying, oh, it's only saying rain up and down the East Coast. Well, that's the reason behind that is because now forecasts are pushing that low to be a little further inland. And I think GFS, correct me if I'm wrong, GFS maybe has the low a little bit further in as well. And so the rain potential is greater the further inland that low pressure system goes. Let's pull ice potential. I know there is the potential for some ice. Let's go low. We'll run up the East Coast here on ice. It took me a second. We'll check freezing rain first. Freezing rain, and then let's check ice. Yeah, it's about the same thing. So it looks like as it gets to the northeast, that freezing rain potential dies off pretty significantly. Even though there's a lot of purples in there, that'll probably change. let's drop back down to Mid-Atlantic here. So there's that freezing rain potential. I know I had a few people earlier messaging me, whether in the Discord chat or just commenting on YouTube videos, prior YouTube videos, saying, hey, South Carolina, ice storm, ice storm. Well, just looking at this, look at the freezing rain potential here across areas of the Carolinas going all the way up into Virginia. That is pretty significant for this region. Over an inch of ice that is currently forecasted. Whether that stays with that or not 100% sure, but that is a lot of ice potential pretty much going straight through the heart of the Carolinas. And why that's happening is you have your low pressure system that's making that turn, and it's driving right like this, right? So all up on the west and north side of that is your heavy snowfall. And then what's happening is right along that line, right along that blue line, that's where you're getting your mixed precipitation. And when the warmer air kind of mixes a little bit, you get raindrops that fall. But as they hit the ground, the surface is cold still, right? So it might be a little bit warmer aloft, so it's allowing rain droplets to fall to the ground. But once it hits the surface could be 20 degrees, it's going to freeze immediately. So that's what freezing rain is, right? So that's why you're getting all these high freezing rain potential across areas like the Carolinas, even back into Georgia. You get all the way, maybe you'd even include Atlanta, and then it drives all the way up through the Carolinas into Virginia. So definitely an ice potential there across portions of South Carolina. This would be probably Sunday. I think that's when this system is supposed to trek through the areas, about Sunday. Definitely a lot of ice. Oh, here, let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry, guys. Definitely a lot of ice potential in this region. If you need a better idea of where you're located, so right here is South Carolina. I know not everybody is terribly good with geography, so I try to make it easy. Here's North Carolina up here. And so I was at Columbia, South Carolina is kind of right in here. So it's pretty much hitting directly through South Carolina. I think the only portion of South Carolina right now that's actually going to avoid the freezing rain is going to be this extreme southern tip, but it's going to be close to. So it's even got Myrtle Beach getting ice too. So that's crazy. So current hazards, we are monitoring the winter storm watch. I'm going to have to zoom out for this because it's too wide. There are winter storm watches up and down portions of the Midwest. Right here are your winter storm watches. Areas like North Dakota, portions of South Dakota, portions of Minnesota. Looks like one county in Nebraska right there. One county in Nebraska, and then a large portion of Iowa. That includes the capital of Des Moines. It includes Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, that whole area there in Iowa with a large portion of winter storm watches out for the area. Now, what does that mean? What do winter storm watches mean, right? Well, it means that the National Weather Service, excuse me, and all these local NWS offices like Des Moines, Minneapolis, probably, all these local National Weather Service offices are coming together and they're collaborating and they're saying, yeah, we expect some pretty heavy snow precipitation in this area, and we should probably get people alerted to the potential for heavy snow. Okay. All right. Let me stop and answer some questions here. I just went through the Carolinas and Virginia, so if you missed, I'll come back to it a little bit later. Penn Weather says low pressure over central Pennsylvania for GFS. Yeah, I still think that's way too far inland. I do. I think GFS will slowly start to move towards the coast. We'll have a little bit more accurate readings. Let me get on the other picture while I'm talking to you guys about. That way you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. I need to check and make sure that that little icon, that little video playing isn't being weird. Allentown, Pennsylvania, definitely the potential for heavy snowfall Sunday and Monday. You want to be prepared. Probably more or less Monday morning. I can't give you totals right now, but Allentown definitely almost a direct hit. For for that snow chance. Okay, it looks good. Okay. 25 miles northeast of Atlanta. I would say 25 miles northeast of Atlanta, we'll see some snow for as of right now. Matter of fact, we can actually go into it a little bit deeper across Georgia because I know there's so many people from Georgia asking. And we'll kind of run up the northeast coast once again. Let's go ahead and come back here. Let's click on surface precip type and rate. And we'll come back to when it's falling. I think it's a little bit further. Oh, no. So it looks like as the system nears like the Atlanta, Georgia area, it actually comes in as rain. Yeah, you guys can see that. Actually, it comes in as rain, which is pretty typical because obviously the further south you go, the warmer it's going to be. So it's not going to be heavy snow. But you notice how it's starting to transition here as it hits probably the mountain ranges. Starts transitioning, but right now, much of Georgia, much of Alabama is all rain, right? Not a lot of snow or mix right now because of the temperatures. Let's advance a little bit. Now you start to see the Euro pushing a little bit more for mixed precipitation, dipping down into the Atlanta area, all the way back to include Nashville, all the way up through much of Tennessee. So it kind of does a little drop there, which is kind of odd. But you got Atlanta, which is what, somewhere like right here. So Atlanta would be tucked into that mixed precipitation snowfall potential. That's why I'm not ruling out Atlanta. But definitely the bigger threat right now would be the ramp up of ice potential. All these purples you see, that's freezing rain potential, right? So on top of the potential for snow, I'd be more concerned about the ice forming. And then now you're getting these pinks, which is heavy, which is probably confirmed freezing rain at this point. Your purple's more mixed precipitation. And now you have your weird orange color in here. That indicates probably some freezing rain falling. That tucks all the way back up through Georgia, probably through the Atlanta area, as well as some mixed precipitation that could be dropping some freezing rain. And then it transitions into snow as you get north of that low. Pretty much the low, I think, is still tucked back here in Mississippi. But as you get north of that corridor of warm air, now you're transitioning into snow, but you're still getting ice and mixed precipitation back here across Atlanta, northeast Georgia, into South Carolina. Let's go ahead another 3 hours here. We're going into Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Now look, that is a wide area of freezing rain that is falling across North Georgia. A lot of North Georgia includes Atlanta Metro. This dips all the way into South Carolina where some heavy ice potential exists. And then, of course, north of that warm air, you get those snowflakes that are falling. But really the concern there across Georgia would be the freezing rain. In my opinion, would be the freezing rain would be the biggest concern across the region. Let's go ahead and go another 3 hours. We're going into Sunday at noon. Now it ramps up again across portions of South Carolina. Now it's moving into North Carolina. Areas like Atlanta still seeing this potential for freezing rain to fall back there. But now it's going to start transitioning into rain, I think, a little bit more. And it's really going to escalate across portions of South Carolina into the Carolinas. Let's go to 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, Eastern time. So now you're seeing the ice potential now exiting the Georgia region, really coming down across upstate South Carolina, portions of central North Carolina, moving into Virginia. And at the same time, you have that heavy snow coming down, all indicated by the dark blue colors. That low pressure system sits just off the border of Georgia and South Carolina, according to Euro. Let's skip ahead here to 6 o'clock p.m. And now you might actually transition into some snowfall back here. As that low moves and starts to turn up like this, you actually might get some bands of snowfall back here, especially in higher elevations. Then the ice really coming down there across North Carolina, now moving into Virginia. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit better on Georgia. I know that the potential for ice does exist. As a matter of fact, let's go up another 3 hours to about 9 o'clock p.m. And then we'll pull total freezing rain potential there. So you're seeing back into the Atlanta area, you're looking at least areas of 0.3 inch of ice. Okay, now I know that doesn't seem a lot. You're thinking, oh my goodness, that's less than an inch, right? You're probably comparing it to snow totals, but the big difference between ice and snow is ice, it doesn't take a lot to lose control of your vehicle. For example, we had cars wrecking in Illinois last week for about a tenth of an inch. There was cars all up and down I-57 and I-55 that had crashed. People died on these interstates off of 1/10 of an inch. You guys are pushing 3/10 of an inch across a major populated city that isn't used to seeing ice, so that could mean trouble there. And then you got the ice events really ramp up across the Carolinas, especially going into South Carolina. That is the hardest hit area right now, according to the 12Z Euro, 12Z European model. Let's go back to precip type. We'll follow this all up the Northeast. So right now you have probably the one of the biggest regions of intensification of snowfall that is falling. This is Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, or I'm sorry, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night at 9. Now you still have ice coming down. Here's your low, 994 millibar. Here's your heavy rain tucked in behind it. A lot of these areas out in front of that low that are seeing snow and mixed precip will actually get a lot of rain to punch through as well. Areas like Philadelphia, New York City, Washington, D.C. probably. Going into midnight, that low is now located over Virginia, 989 millibar. Here's Washington, D.C. It's kind of hidden, but it's right there, tucked into that mixed precipitation. And what's happening is D.C. is now transitioning from heavy snowfall into rain. That's why you have those purples. A little bit of ice maybe falling down in there as well. Wouldn't rule that out. That is midnight, Sunday night going into Monday morning. Let's go to Monday at 3 a.m. Now areas like DC probably have transitioned into mostly rain at this point as that low approaches you. And again, still heavy bands of snowfall coming down across a large portion of the Northeast. This is at 3 a.m. on Monday morning. This is just 3 hours before kids start getting on school buses. So likely shouldn't expect, or I guess, no, this would be Monday. Yeah. So I would probably expect schools to be closed if this plays out. Going into this is about 6 a.m. Monday. Kids are waking up for school about this point. You got a 982. It's kind of hovering over the Washington, D.C. area now. All of this snow and mixed precipitation that's falling across Philadelphia, New York City, Long Island is now transitioning to really heavy rain, probably some flooding potential tucked back in there as that warmer air moves north. And then you have still heavy areas of snow all across the Northeast. And then we'll just go into the early morning hours. So you're talking about 9 a.m. now on Monday. So kids would be going into school, so probably not happening if you're in the Northeast. There's that 982 low pressure, well north of Philly now, moving into like the just west of New York City. It's in eastern Pennsylvania now. And it's still dropping lots of snow across a lot of portion of the Northeast. And then again, here's all that rain and mess back here over the Atlantic. So a lot to play with, right? A lot to talk about. I know I'm trying to get everybody updated on the path. Now I'll get back to questions here. School should be. Oh, is there a holiday? Oh, MLK Day. Okay, never mind then. Perfect. I didn't realize that Martin Luther King Jr. Day was on Monday. Okay, perfect. So if schools are closed on Monday, that'll help. But the question is will they be able to go to school on Tuesday? That's the big question, because if you're getting significant snowfall totals back here, you're probably not going to be able to. Probably not going to be able to get them to school Tuesday either. No snow to report in Florida. I would hope not. Memphis. Yeah, we'll actually come back here. Let's go back to where this storm starts, right? It starts in the Midwest and it kind of makes its journey to the southeast to like the Tennessee valleys, right? So let's go back to Thursday. Okay. So this is when it's starting. Okay. This is Friday morning. This is Friday morning at 3 a.m. So probably Thursday afternoon as well. You're probably getting some flurries down here, but it really starts to ramp up Friday morning. Just after midnight, you're seeing some of the heavier snow starting to fall across North Dakota, right where this winter storm watches currently exist. I expect those to go to warnings here soon. Let's skip ahead 6 hours. Let's go to 9 a.m. Friday morning. Pivotal weather is slow today, only because there's a lot of people using it right now because of this winter storm coming in. So 9 a.m., right? So look at this wide region of snowfall at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. You're getting the heavier bands all up and down that winter storm watch area. Okay. This includes North Dakota, South Dakota, portions of Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota. Let's go up another 6 hours here. By 3 p.m. on Friday, so Friday afternoon, that heavier snow is now impacting, probably moving into Iowa now. Omaha, Nebraska being right about there. Omaha, Nebraska is down here. Never mind, I lied. Omaha, Nebraska is still getting impacted down here, though. Areas like Des Moines, Iowa, maybe Cedar Rapids, Iowa, all up and down Waterloo, Iowa. Those areas probably getting hit pretty hard right now. Let's skip ahead let's move our radar here. We're going to move to 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday. Let's go to Ohio Valley map. So by 9 o'clock p.m., I heard Memphis, or I saw Memphis in the chats. So Memphis, you're down here. So by 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday, that storm is coming right at you, right? And it's not going to obviously stop. But by 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday, it's now moving into portions of Missouri, western Illinois. Western Illinois also has the potential to see some heavy snow. Let's go to 3 a.m. on Saturday morning. It starts to die off a little bit, which is this forecast that we were expecting. As it drops further south here, it's going to collide with that warmer air indicated by this red dotted line here. And it's going to start to more or less transition into rain. That's exactly what you're seeing here. You see the rain instead of snow now. Let's go ahead another 3 hours, 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. You're probably just waking up, stretching your legs. Areas like Missouri probably still getting some pretty decent snow, but now we're transitioning into mostly rain for areas like Memphis, Tennessee, Jonesboro, Little Rock, Arkansas. This is mostly rain. Even maybe you got maybe also got some severe storms. Maybe not severe, but some thunderstorms, maybe across Louisiana. Not uncommon with storm patterns like this. So 3 o'clock p.m. now on Saturday. Skipping ahead another 6 hours. Now look, now it's really transitioned into mostly rain, okay? It's starting to get a little bit further south. It's starting to collide with that warmer air. It's not really producing a lot of snow. You're probably still getting some flurries down here, but not as much, right? So snowfall totals should decrease as it drops to the south. Again, fully expected. We were talking about that yesterday on live stream. So areas like Memphis, Little Rock, you're probably getting more rain than anything in this region. Let's go to 9 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. Okay, there's that low pressure right there, 1006 millibars. That's pretty high right now. As the storm drops south, you're still getting pockets of snowfall potential. I would say Memphis, you're pushing the mixed precip line right now, probably heavy rain. Same with Jonesboro and Little Rock, Arkansas, probably mixed precipitation, mostly rain than snow at this point. That low pressure system is going to race east, right? And it's going to create pretty much a turn, right? So the storm is coming down this way. As that low pressure, as it links on that low pressure, it's going to turn right and it's going to ramp up to the northeast. If you were on our live stream yesterday, you saw me talking about that. So there it goes. Now it's making that turn to the right, as you can see, right? The low pressure looks to sit in the same spot, about right over central Mississippi. Looks to drop a couple of millibars down to about 1,004. But now you're getting an increase here as the low pressure will book east in snowfall potential, right? So areas like Memphis, now it's transitioning into your snow that you wanted, right? So here it is, big blob of blue. Again, we were talking about the ice potential there in Atlanta, snow potential in Atlanta. Anywhere in North Georgia has ice and snow potential, including South Carolina. Now that's when it's happening, right? This low pressure system is going to move east. What was this for? This is for 3 o'clock in the morning this is for 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Okay. So it's a Sunday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's skip ahead another 6 hours to about 9 a.m. Sunday morning. So people are getting up ready for church at about this point, heading into church. Low pressure seems to stall out over Mississippi. I don't think that'll be quite accurate. I think it does drop east a little bit, but it seems to stall out on the Euro. Kind of hangs tight there in central Mississippi, which is why you get a lot of ice happening out here in front. Places like Atlanta, Georgia, areas that aren't used to ice, like Atlanta, Georgia, North Georgia, South Carolina, all the way down to almost the coast. Myrtle Beach even has potential to see ice. But that low pressure is kind of stalled back here over areas of Mississippi. And then areas like Western Tennessee, Memphis, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. Now you're seeing that snowfall accumulation probably occurring as the system pushes east and transforms into some snow. And then it kind of moves east into the mid-Atlantic and the lower Ohio Valley there at about 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. Okay, so 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, you got a ramp up there in ice potential across South Carolina. Atlanta probably still dealing with some mixed precip, and now it's moving into portions of eastern Kentucky, heavy snowfall coming down. So let's check the snowfall totals as of right now using the 10-to-1 ratio according to the Euro and kind of get an idea of where this could happen, right? So you notice as it pushes southeast out of the Midwest, it's on a path, and it dies off, right? You're not seeing some heavy totals in here. But then it suddenly catches that low that's kind of stalled over here in Mississippi, and the totals start to ramp back up, and the path shifts east, right? Now, again, I'm going to say, just like I said yesterday, kind of ignore these numbers, right? These numbers don't mean anything right now. We are still 3, 4, we're multiple days out, right? So, so we're multiple days out. So these totals don't mean anything right now. What's most important is the consistency of the path. So where these pinks and reds are located, have they been showing that same path over the last few days? And the answer is yes, they have. And they've also shown the same thing over this region, right? I think maybe a little bit of a southern dip from the previous European model runs, but for the most part, it's showing that snowfall to be tucked right in here across the Tennessee valleys, portions of the South, and that's shown that over and over the last couple of days on forecast model runs. The totals have changed significantly, especially since yesterday, right? Some of these areas were showing 16 inches on yesterday's model runs. Now they're only showing 7. That's what I mean. Ignore the numbers right now. We're not that far into the forecast to talk about numbers. We're not even close enough to the event to talk about snowfall totals, but we're talking about the path. So what I've seen consistently is Western Tennessee. Looks like Western Kentucky was consistent until today. Now it's kind of shifted south. But the consistency lies in this region, Western Tennessee. So I do expect snowfall in that region unless, the next couple of days changes my mind. Let's go back to surface and precip. We'll follow this back up the East Coast like I have been because I've seen we've got some more viewers jumping in here. So by 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, the storm is dropping lots of ice, freezing rain. I should say creating lots of ice, dropping lots of freezing rain just north of that 1001 millibar low pressure, right across the Carolinas. Had just left Georgia. We'll get to ice totals here in a second. It just left the Atlanta metro area more likely. And now it's really ramping up again in snowfall totals across Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee. This is Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Football's playing. We got the playoffs this weekend. So this is going to be the perfect time to sit at home and watch the playoffs. Have a beer or 2 or 3. Now the low pressure system's cooking up over eastern North Carolina, and you're getting that intensification of snow bands approaching Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, probably dropping lots of rain as well, right? As this storm, like I said earlier, the areas that are seeing snowfall, some of the heaviest snowfall potential, are going to transition into rain because the low pressure is going to drive up like this, and so the rain is just falling right behind it, right? Areas like Philadelphia, New York City, Washington, D.C., those populated areas, Baltimore, could see that heavy snow at first, and then all of a sudden it warms up a little bit after the snow stops, and then you get a lot of rain, okay? Let's go ahead another 6 hours, jumping by 6 hours so it doesn't take forever. We're now going into Monday morning, 3 a.m. Monday morning. I was advised that it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, so schools won't be in session anyways, fortunately. But now you have that low pressure approaching Washington, D.C. Again, heavy snow for much of the Northeast. Pennsylvania really getting whacked here. As this low pressure continues, like I said, the heavy rain behind it You see these wide bands, they're pushing up northeast with it. They're not going to detach and go across the Atlantic. They're going to follow that low pressure system because that's what weather patterns do, right? So areas of like New Jersey, Delaware, portions of Virginia, Washington, D.C., Philly, now New York, you went from, oh my goodness, we finally have snow, to now it's pouring down rain. So snow transitioning into rain for you guys. Let's go ahead and switch to the Northeast. And then by Monday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or I'm sorry, this is 9 in the morning. 9 in the morning on Monday, you have much of the Northeast seeing some type of snowfall. The heavier portions still exist, of course, along the lakes where that's pretty normal. And then you're getting also areas, pockets of snow bands racing across this portion of the Northeast as well. The rest of it should see still some snowfall, but heavier bands probably closer to the low down through here, and as well as lake effect, like always. Okay. That was a lot of talking. I know it was. One thing I want to touch up on here before we get into the next portion is the ice, because I know we have a lot of people that just joined in. I'm sure we have people from Georgia that joined in here recently. The ice potential is a concern. I think Mid-Atlantic actually might be a better region for that. Yes. So the ice is definitely a potential, right? So we're talking snow, 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 snow. That's all we're talking about. That's all you hear me talking about is big time snow potential, right? Well, we're not really talking about ice potential. The same goes with ice as it does with snow. The numbers right now don't mean anything. Okay. I know I was saying some totals earlier, but right now ice is not that important. The most important thing right now is the path and the area, right? Because if you live in this region where the models have been consistent with ice accumulation, you want to be ready for that. If these totals verify, you're not going to want to go outside. But these totals verify your power could be knocked out. Over an inch of ice is enough to snap trees, bend trees over, snap power lines. You'll hear transformers exploding. You'll lose power, right? That's very possible across Georgia, South, and the Carolinas, and Virginia. If you get these ice totals, it will be significant. But like I said, for now, ignore the numbers. Numbers don't mean anything right now. We're still many days out. The biggest thing you should do is just be aware of where you're located as part of the ice totals, right? If you're in this area, now's the time to go shop, get some milk. Well, I guess you couldn't really get milk because if your power goes out, it wouldn't matter. Or I guess you could put it outside, but stock up on water. That's the most important thing. Water, right? Dry foods that you can eat without having to cook them. Stuff like that. Stuff to survive an ice storm if it plays out. But as of right now, it looks like a pretty solid region on the last few model runs of ice potential up and down, even back as far west as Atlanta, Georgia, all the way through the Carolinas into Virginia. And then it dies off as it gets in the Northeast. But we'll monitor trends like that as well. Let me put this back on the screen and we'll go back over to the comments. I'm well behind on my comments. Get that bread in milk. Absolutely. Yeah, get bread too. That's a good one, bread. So go ahead and ask me questions now. I'll catch back up on everybody's concerns. Is there still a possibility for the low to shift more east? Absolutely. Anything could change. Actually, here on the screen, you're seeing right here in front of you, this is my forecast model. I drew this up earlier. You're seeing the L right here circled. Oh, I guess I should probably use a better color. You're seeing this L. That's the low pressure. And then you're seeing these two yellow arrows with the question mark. I put that there because we're still not certain on which path this low could take, right? It's not confirmed to go up like it right now the Euro showing. It could come out and do a coastal run. That would change everything significantly. It really could. So we're not sure on exact path of the low yet. That's why there's a question mark there. I'm trying to catch back up here. I don't know where Red House for West Virginia is. All of West Virginia is going to see some pretty good snow, though. Is New York City getting snow? So New York City, as of right now, New York City appears to get snow, but then it transitions into rain. That's just with the current low the Euro showing. Again, that could change. We'll update. I said this yesterday in yesterday's live stream that any of this could change. This is not set in stone just yet. Yes, I did. I did see the GFS model 18Z with the slight shift to the east. I think what's happening is GFS might be starting to agree with European a little bit more. That's why I usually lean towards European, because it's more accurate earlier. But I think what GFS is doing, it's starting to come back towards where the euro is as well, because the euro made a shift to the west. So I'd be curious to see how they look tomorrow. Yeah, so that's a good point, Joe. So going by history, meteorologists and weather people like me use history as a big way to forecast, right? Because, you know, winter or any storms in general will kind of repeat the same path as they did prior. So when you look at previous significant winter events, you want to pull information and see, okay, well, these are all bumping, so this is probably what we should expect again. And a lot of times you get those coastal runners and these type of setups. So we'll see if maybe it comes a little bit east and does that. Yeah, so below Charleston, so all of West Virginia has a chance for snow, heavy snow possible as well. So that's highlighted here on this map. The entire state is in purple. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So areas like Pennsylvania, New York, I would say southern New York anyway, Connecticut, Massachusetts, no matter where this low goes, I still think there'd be significant snowfall in those areas, because no matter what, Pennsylvania, for example, like PennWeather just said, Pennsylvania will still get hit hard. Like, it's not going to make any difference at all whether the path goes south or if it goes north or west or east. It doesn't matter. I think Pennsylvania will still see some heavy snow. There's still a chance for snowstorm or low pressure change paths for the upper Midwest. Um, I would say no. I think most forecast models, we were talking about this yesterday, a lot of forecast models in the Midwest were agreeing on numerous days. I don't see any changes happening with that. I think those winter storm watches are accurate, and that's exactly what will happen. I think you still get pockets of really heavy snow, though, maybe 10 inches or more. But for the most part, 5 to 8 inches in those winter storm watches is accurate, in my opinion. That's what the National Weather Service is saying, and they're the best in the world at doing it. So I definitely think that that's pretty accurate reading, which is exactly why you're not seeing winter storm watches in the Northeast yet, because we're just waiting. National Weather Service won't put those out too early before confidence is there. So things like what Stephanie just said, she just said, I'm seeing many weather reports that are saying my area of southeastern New Jersey is going to be all heavy snow and not turning in rain. I'm curious to see what weather reports you're reading, because I haven't seen anything like that of heavy snow only in Jersey. Actually, a lot of forecast models don't show heavy snow at all in Jersey. A lot of it is north and west. So I'll be curious to see where you're getting that. I still think it's way too early, anyways, to make those decisions. Whoever's putting that information out is doing it way prematurely, because we don't know yet. Um, an area to monitor is one thing, but actually coming out and posting it and saying, yeah, it's going to be heavy snow in Jersey, I think is way too early to do that. That's just my personal opinion, though, and it's probably the correct opinion, but way too early to tell you that it's only going to be snow and not rain in Jersey. That easily could change, and it likely will, but we'll see. Or they'll get lucky and they'll be accurate. I don't know where Gainesville, Georgia is. Guys, when you're asking about locations, give me an area in the state. Give me like eastern, central Georgia. Give me northeast Georgia. Town names don't do anything because I don't know where they're at. Sorry. I just don't know. Unless they're like an area I've been to before, or it's a big city. I know where big cities are. Hey man, new sub. Just wondering if the snow may be significant for southwestern Vermont. Yeah, absolutely. I think the potential is there, Tyler. I think as you can see, I have it all in pink right now, up there in the Vermont, New Hampshire region. I think the potential for some heavy snow is very possible up there. It really just depends on this low track. If it takes, I think, more of a southern coastal range, that heavy snow may shift to the southern portion of the state. But if it sticks on the path right now, you should see some heavy snow. We'll give you updates though. Um, you guys should also see that Discord chat is linked in there as well. You guys can join that and get in there and ask any questions about the snow paths that maybe I didn't get the answer on live stream. I'm actually hearing notifications coming in for that. So thank you guys so much for tuning into that. Let me scroll back down here. Sorry if I scroll past your questions. I apologize. Just keep asking them. Eventually, I'll see them. Is this storm moving fast or slow? It's moving about the normal speed for a winter storm. I don't think it's going any faster or any slower than normal, personally. DC, yeah, same thing. So right now, Euromodel is kind of showing a huge area of snow to be pushing into like the DC region and eventually maybe transitioning into snow afterward or into rain afterwards. Snow at first, rain afterwards. That's what we're getting right now. Of course, again, that could change. If this goes more east, do you think Virginia Beach will see snow? Absolutely. If this maybe does a little bit of a outward approach, I think Virginia Beach sees more rain potential than they do now. I still have it in the rain, or I'm sorry, not in the rain, the snow potential. I think they will see some snow anyways, probably a lot of mixed precipitation, and it might not last long. You might not have any accumulation there in Virginia Beach before it goes into rain. But if it gets a little bit off the coast, you might have the potential for some more snowfall accumulation. But we'll play that by day, and I'll get you some updates. Everybody's saying I'm hoping for snow. I'm hoping for snow. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for you guys. I'm not here to give you bad news. But I'm definitely hoping. Iowa, Nebraska, a lot of Iowa's into the 5 to 8 inch range. That's through Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So all Friday, you guys will be getting some pretty good snow, depending on what portion of state you are. Eastern Nebraska, much of Iowa is in that 5 to 8 inch range. Pretty much right where those winter storm watches are. 50 miles above Atlanta. Okay, so yeah, Vicky, then definitely a snowfall potential in there, especially in higher elevations. But my main concern in that area is that ice potential. I think I might still have it actually pulled up here. Hang on. So the ice potential here north of Atlanta definitely exists, and that right now is the big concern for me, only because ice is so much more dangerous than snow. Because it's crap. Because ice is a lot harder to operate in, right? You can walk in snow just fine. You can't walk in ice, right? You just slip and fall and hurt yourself. But here's the giant region of freezing rain potential and ice accumulation going into this winter storm. But we'll monitor trends on that as well. How's St. Louis looking? I think St. Louis is good. Probably some snow potential. I honestly haven't even looked at St. Louis. I mean, I have, but I haven't really pulled the snowfall path. I think, okay, so I think St. Louis will be about the time the snow event starts to die off a little bit before it revamps here across the Mississippi, Tennessee valleys, across the Delta. I think St. Louis will see a couple of inches of snow at least, though. I'm not going to rule out some snow there in St. Louis, but just not as much as everywhere else. Probably winter weather advisory type snowfall where you get advisories, but any snow from northeast Mississippi, it's going to be close. I think you guys will get more mixed precipitation. I don't think there would be much, if any, accumulating snowfall. You guys might see some flurries there in northeast Mississippi, as well as northern Alabama, before it quickly transitions probably into rainfall. Just what I'm seeing right now. New Jersey, a lot of snow. We don't know yet. We're playing it. Playing it by day. New Jersey right now is under the gun for some snow, but to say a lot of snow, I don't know yet. We're still about 5 days out from that. So let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 5 days. What direction do I think in reference to what? The low pressure. Hey Zach, if the low pressure rides the coast or stays off the coast, do you think eastern North Carolina will get some snow? Um, Eastern North Carolina, it'll be close. I think you guys will get snow, but it won't be a lot. It won't be like a significant amount. But it'd be more mixed precipitation again because it's so close to that line of whether you will get accumulating snowfall or not. We'll watch trends. I think if it does come off the coast, you guys will get some snow. Yes. But I just can't tell you how much or whether it will accumulate a lot or not. It'll probably transition more into rain after a certain amount of time. Um, any snow for northeast Mississippi? Yeah, we already answered that. Sorry. Already answered that question. I need to scroll down because I keep seeing the same question. Let me get caught back up here. Okay. Will New York see snow? It depends on what part of New York you're in. If you're talking about New York City, I think they see snow. But if you're talking about upstate New York, it's definitely going to see some snow. Just depends. South Carolina. I think again, like I was talking earlier, Kay. I think South Carolina's big problem right now is the ice potential. I think that is the big red flag right now. I think you guys have the potential to see lots and lots of ice. And I would be more concerned about that right now than I would snowfall. Here, I'll actually pull it up for you real quick. Total accumulated freezing rain. Oh, let's switch over to Mid-Atlantic. Right, so here it is. Here's the pocket of freezing rain potential, and South Carolina is just swallowed in it, right? So that would be my big concern for you guys going into this event. If the track shifts further east in North Carolina, what would we expect in Raleigh, North Carolina? As for totals, I have no idea. It'd be more than what's predicted now. I can tell you that. I would say if Raleigh is close enough, so far west enough, I think you guys will get some pretty decent snowfall accumulation if it shifts east. But really, this depends when it comes off the coast, right? If the low pressure doesn't make that turn to the right and off the coast, you guys might not get much of anything. It'd be more rain than anything. But if it decides to jump off the coast at a decent point, but that's what I'm saying about North and South Carolina. That's the tough part of this with the shifting, because even if it shifts, you guys might not see as much snow as you want to see. Western Virginia around Roanoke, yeah, I think that area will get some pretty good snow as well, no matter where the low shifts at. I'm in East Central Illinois. How much snow will we see? Probably nothing. I don't think there's anything really forecast for there. Probably flurries, and that's about it. Because I'm in West Central Indiana, so I'm not too far away from you, Derek, and we're not getting anything here. So, let's see. Atlanta, Georgia Metro. Can we see some snow? Yeah, absolutely. I think potential for Atlanta to see snow is medium potential right now. I'm going to go with medium. I'm not going to go high, but the ice, definitely ice potential back there in Atlanta, and that area is more concerning because you got to think Atlanta is a huge city. It's going to be a Monday. I know it's going to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so well, I guess this would be Sunday when it's coming through. But still, people are going to be driving on the interstates. Atlanta's always busy. So my concern would be ice and crashes that are going to occur there in the metro area. We'll see, though. So snowfall totals should not be forecasted yet for anywhere in the Northeast. I see a lot of people saying, oh, we're getting a foot. Oh, we're getting 16 inches. Oh, we're getting 8 inches. None of that should be put out yet. I don't think any National Weather Service office has put out anything about snowfall totals, and we are 5 days away from event. That could change significantly. But a lot of times you'll get these meteorologists or even like these weird weather pages that'll put out like 10 to 18 inches, like an 8-inch difference. Like, what You guys want accurate information. You don't want 12 to 18 inches because that's not accurate. That's just guessing. And yeah, you're going to be right when you give 6 to 8 inch wide range. Anybody's going to be right. It's like me saying 4 to 10 inches. Like, of course I'm going to be right because obviously this area is going to see 4 to 10 inches. When is the next model? We'll update tomorrow. I don't know if you're part of the Discord chat. If you are, we'll update tomorrow morning, as I always do. But for the most part, we'll do a live stream again tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time, or around 7 o'clock Eastern time. And tomorrow you'll see probably a lot of change in this forecast. I don't think you'll see like a lot of change on like path for the most part. I think the low will stay about the same and maybe shift a little bit east, but snowfall totals will be completely different. And that's why I'm saying nobody should be forecasting snowfall totals yet. Just a personal opinion, though. 4 to 6 in Greensboro, North Carolina. That, yeah, I mean, that's not a terrible, I live there between, okay, I'm in West Lafayette, Tyler, so, West Lafayette, Indiana, yeah. 4 to 6 in Greensboro, North Carolina isn't a terrible guess, but again, I'm not going to name out any numbers right now, because I would probably be wrong, because it'll change. Because the first number that people put out, right? So if you're going on social media and you're like, oh my goodness, they're saying a foot of snow. That's the number that sticks with you the longest, right? Because you're thinking, okay, well, they said a foot of snow and then they lower it to 8 inches, but you're in your mind, you're thinking, I want a foot of snow. So, oh, Lafayette, Georgia. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ohio River Valley, that whole area has the chance for some snow. Not as significant as the rest of the area, though. Probably some flurries. Western Kentucky, same thing. So Western Kentucky yesterday, this is why I'm saying snowfall total should not be put out yet. Western Kentucky yesterday had like 16 inches potential on some forecast models. Now it has barely 3 inches. So a huge difference between yesterday and today. And that's exactly why I'm not saying anything yet. Yeah, 8 to 12 in Scranton, again, shouldn't be put out yet. But if that's what they're going with, that's what they're going with. Richmond, Virginia, chance for some really heavy snow through there as well. My friend, oh crap, my friend Randy from same place you're at. How much you get? I don't know I don't know what that means. Absolutely, that's all I do, guys. I keep it real on here. I'm not going to hand out fake numbers. I was actually hesitant on drawing up this forecast model you see on your screen right now because people kind of get worked up over the colors. But I think it needs to be brought up that the path is remaining a bit the same. Tomorrow we might come in. The purple might be a little bit further east and south. We don't know yet. But I think it's important to at least get it up there. But you notice there's no snowfall totals on that map because I'm not talking about snowfall totals just yet. I'll tell you if you're getting snow or not. That's about it, or how much you should expect to get snow. No, I'm not getting snow where I'm at. No fake news here. That's right. We're not fake news here. I keep it real with y'all. Would it be safe to say that Eastern West Virginia is in the bullseye? Yeah, I would say that's okay. I think Eastern West Virginia is, no matter where this low goes, I think you guys will see snow. The amount of snow, again, not sure, but you guys will definitely see snow there. I don't think you guys can avoid snow there in Eastern West Virginia. Johnson City, Tennessee, again, the same. I think you guys see snow. Total's unsure yet, but I think you guys will see snow for sure. Knoxville's the same way. I don't know where Cumberland Gap, Tennessee is. It sounds familiar, but I don't know where it is. Will New Jersey along the coast get snow? I'm not ruling out snow potential. That's why I have it circled, or I guess shaded in blue here. I'm not ruling out any snow potential along the coastline at all. That's why it's all blue. But the question is how much snow and how quickly does it transition into rain? Because as that low pressure comes up, you're going to get. Okay, I'll look at it here in a second. as that low pressure comes up, you're going to get a transition from snow to rain there in Jersey. As of right now, just looking at what Euro is saying, a lot of models are saying it's going to go snow to rain pretty quickly. But how quickly, we don't know yet. And that's all the determination. Can we get some accumulating snowfall on the ground before it shifts into rain and warmer weather, or is it going to be strictly snow if that low pressure comes off the coast? I will update you guys on all of that. Do I like snow? Not really. Not a huge fan of snow myself. I like one good snowstorm a year where I live. If I can get one good snowstorm a year, the rest of the year I'm fine. It's good enough for me. I'm more focused on tornadoes in the springtime than I am snow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very well, maybe a plow time there in parts of Pennsylvania for sure. We got some. Oh, somebody sent me a picture in the Discord. Hang on, somebody said something about sending me a picture. So let me pull it here if I can find it. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I did see that. I did see that picture. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, you're gonna get. Actually, I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna show you guys this. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by you can't rely on a lot of these crazy forecast models, because the problem is you got these people who have no serious education in meteorology. I'm not saying I do, but they get on here and they see these forecast models and they immediately think that's what's going to happen, right? Simply just basing it on what they're seeing, right? So this was a forecast that was posted by GPU in the Discord chat. Look at this, okay? First off, the forecast model looks so poorly put together. You guys can barely see that. Hang on, let me zoom in. The picture itself looks so poorly put together. I mean, it's just terrible. It's saying 6 to 12 inches back here in the Midwest, which isn't true at all. I mean, I wouldn't say it's incorrect, but the entire pink shaded region is not going to see a foot of snow. And that goes the same with up here. The entire Northeast is not going to see a foot to 2 feet of snow. You're going to get areas that have a lot less, and you're going to get areas that have a lot more. That's why you wait and you wait and you wait until more detailed information can come out. And then it says major snowstorm to impact 34 states, extreme winter storm. Yeah, whatever, right? You get a lot of these unbelievably poorly put together forecasts. And that's why you have to be careful with who you're looking at. Be careful who you're trusting. Who are you getting your information from? Make sure it's a reliable source. I'm not saying I'm necessarily a reliable source, but your reliable sources would be your local TV meteorologists. I know a lot of people don't like them, and then the National Weather Service. Those are your reliable information. Those are the people to go to. Pretty much all of my information comes through the National Weather Service. I just like to put it in a way that you guys can understand. AccuWeather has a map out. Oh God. Penn Weather, can you send that in the Discord? I would love to see that. But yeah, a lot of my information comes from trusted sources. I just put it in wording that you guys can understand, because a lot of times the National Weather Service likes to put it out in ways that maybe the public doesn't quite understand. So yeah, definitely. When you see pictures like that on social media, the first thing you should think of is no. just kind of think about that for a second. I love when they say a blizzard and there's 1 to 2 inches of snow. Yeah. Yeah. Happens a lot. A lot of people like to hype blizzards too. They'll say, oh, this is going to be a blizzard. It's going to be a blizzard. And it's not. But thank you guys so much for tuning in for your first time here. My name is Zach Walters. I'm a storm chaser and a weather analyst. I kind of just break down upcoming winter weather patterns when I'm not in the field chasing them. Recently, through the winter time, this is what I do mostly. When tornado season comes back around, I'll be in the field chasing tornadoes and chasing storms, eventually chasing hurricanes. You guys can get all those cool videos here on my YouTube channel. You guys, after the live stream, can go back and actually watch a lot of them. There's actually a playlist for tornadoes and severe weather under my channel. But thank you guys so much for finding. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. I appreciate it so much. What do I think about State College? I'm not getting into snow amounts quite yet, but you guys will probably see a lot of snow. I think you guys are almost in the bullseye. I wouldn't quite say you're in the bullseye, but so close. Weather Max is way better. I've never heard of Weather Max. It must be. I've never heard of it. I've heard of the Weather Channel and AccuWeather, but I've never heard of Weather Max. Hello from Canada. Thanks for being here. It's in the server. Okay, I gotta see this. Hold on, I gotta see this. I'm sure AccuWeather, they're half and half, you know. See, AccuWeather does an okay job, but you can tell they're definitely relying on the GFS because they have heavier snow amounts way north and west. They're calling 12 to 18 inches of snow. But I like how they do divide it into the heavier stuff, which I like. But I feel like they rely on, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They could be accurate. Who knows? They have a history of prematurely putting out snowfall totals and then changing it 8 times before the event happens. That they have a history of doing that. So we'll see how many times they change it before the day comes. I'm not going to drop any totals until I'm confident that's what's going to happen. Whenever you put snowfall totals out like AccuWeather is right now, there's no confidence in that. They're just trying to get information out so that it gets shared and their name is passed. And no offense to them, it's a technique used, but I'm up in northern Vermont. Any ideas on amounts? Not sure yet. Snow definitely possible though. I can say that. Yeah, snow 6 to 12 for Harrisburg. I wouldn't say that's terribly out of the question yet. The 6 to 12 for Harrisburg. But it's just, I think it's too early to say. It's just a personal thing. I think it's just way too early to go into snowfall amounts. I don't know. It's just me, I guess. But you will see a lot of places will post forecasts, and you guys are more than welcome to look at those, obviously. And if you think that's actually going to happen, if you have trust in that, believe it. But there's about a 90% chance that all those forecast models are going to change numerous times over the next 5 days. I should say next 4 days because they should have it down by Sunday. So the next 4 days, you're going to see all those models, forecasts, graphics change. You just wait. Any snow in Cincinnati? Honestly, I haven't even looked at Cincy. I've been so focused on the hardest hit areas, I haven't really looked at smaller regions. I think a lot of consistency remains. So, like, okay, you said 1 to 2 inches, what AccuWeather said, right? Well, Euro says barely anything in Cincy. You're right along the line of the 1 inch mark. So I see why they're saying 1 to 3. But I think AccuWeather is going off of GFS because GFS has all this up further north. And so, like, these dark blue colors where the 1 to 3 exist would probably include Cincinnati at that point. So I think they're going off the GFS. I go off the Euro a little bit more. I think the Euro has been a little bit more consistent, except for a little bit shift. We'll see what happens though. But I wouldn't say 1 to 2, 1 to 3 inches for Cincy is a bad call right now. But I'm just not going to say that's what's going to happen. But I wouldn't say it's a terrible call. What part of Georgia is that in, Abby? So I have an idea where you're at. Snowfall totals for the Midwest. It just depends on what portion of the Midwest you're in, Justin. 5 to 8 inches from pretty much North Dakota all the way down through Iowa. And then that kind of lessens as it gets into like Missouri and everything. So it just depends where you're at. Where were we at? Hold on, Georgia, right? Yeah. Northern Georgia, yeah, has the potential to see some snow. Obviously, these heavier amounts is higher elevations across the mountains. But I would say some snow possible there, but again, kind of focusing more on the ice potential, right? Some heavy ice is also possible across the Carolinas, North Georgia, into Virginia. That would be more my concern living in North Georgia, would be the ice, because that ice has a better potential at causing more problems. I'm not going to zoom in. The reason being is because people want me to zoom in to see snowfall totals. And right now we're not looking at these numbers right now. Any of these numbers should not be looked at. What we're looking at is just simply the path. And Philly, right here, it's in the blue. So Philly's in the target. They could see some heavy snow. But I'm not going to zoom in because I know everybody's going to be like, oh, 4 inches in Philly. Well, not yet. We're still 4 days out from that accuracy. So, but this is the region that's shown pretty much the same through the same path. I think the low came a little bit further west. Yes, I think so. With that latest run, so the snowfall total is going up a little bit more inland than a coast run, but it still looks about the same it did yesterday. So not much changing. Delaware, I think is a snow to rain mix going into this, but again, we're gonna get a little bit deeper into that, guys. But if you're just tuning in, of course, if you're from the Midwest, because I know somebody was just talking about the Midwest, there are winter storm watches out right now. Sorry, I was reading a comment. Winter storm watches are have been issued for parts of the northern plains as well as the Midwest. Places like North Dakota, South Dakota, Southwest Minnesota, and much of Iowa is all under a winter storm watch right now. 5 to 8 inches, according to the National Weather Service, should be expected in this region. And that bumps with the European model, about 5 to 8 inches. So we're going to say that's about correct. What am I doing? Jeez. Let's go to precipitation. Now, all these storms, all the snow is expected to start on about Friday. Okay, so let's go to the north central U.S. Let's go back to Friday morning. So here's Friday, 12Z, 6 a.m. So here's Friday at about 9 a.m. You got a really increase of snow potential now at between 3 and 9 a.m. on Friday morning. Okay, so if there's schools in here, they might not be going. But you have some heavy snow bands probably occurring across North, South Dakota going into Minnesota at about 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday. This will continue its run towards the Mississippi Valley, towards the river. You see a heavy snow now pushing through there Friday at about 3 p.m. Here's Friday at about 9 p.m. Heavy snow now pushing into Missouri, southern Iowa, 5 to 8 inch potential there as well. Let's go to 3 a.m. Saturday morning. As it pushes south, you're getting a transition into rain, right? It's getting a little bit further into warmer air, so it's going to kind of weaken out a little bit on the snow. You will still see snow potential as it continues south, no matter what. I think you still see it. As you can see now going into, this is 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. Snow still falling across parts of Missouri, going into Arkansas now. A lot of rain too. A lot of rain, flash flooding potential probably tucked across areas of the south. So if you're watching this from the south, wondering if you're going to get snow, I'd be more concerned about the rain. Okay, going into 9 o'clock p.m. now. Here's 9 p.m. on Saturday. Area of snow still falling. There's that low pressure system at 1,006 millibars. Come on. Going into 3 a.m. Sunday morning. So very early Sunday. People are sleeping, which is good. I think we stall out a little bit here on this low pressure at about 1,004 millibars. I think it stalls out over Mississippi a few runs, but you're seeing all this area of heavy mixed precipitation mostly, I think. Probably some pretty decent snow falling back across Jonesboro, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, all the way through central Tennessee. And then again, this little pocket of heavy snowfall possible across areas like Atlanta, Georgia, northern Georgia. I'd be more concerned about these purples, though. This is where your freezing rain potential exists within the mixed precipitation. Let's go ahead another 6 hours. We're going to go to 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. People getting up, ready for church. Look at all this orange, right? That is probably freezing rain falling, right? This is ice accumulation happening down here across North Georgia all the way into the Carolinas. That is freezing rain that is accumulating on the ground, potentially. And now you have your low pressure still stationary back here, and it's still causing heavy snow bands to come down across western Tennessee through central Tennessee. I think areas like Memphis could see some pretty good snow, Nashville even, into western portions like Kentucky. We know Mayfield is in here as well, area that saw that EF4 tornado a few weeks ago. potential for some heavy snow there. And then this low pressure system eventually gets its act together. It starts shifting east after stops being stationary. But freezing rain definitely coming down the Carolinas about 9 a.m. on Sunday. So if you're planning on going to church, you might have some problems here. Let's switch over to the Mid-Atlantic screen. Okay, this is 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. NFL football. If you guys are football watchers, it's coming down right now. So it's a good time to stay home. The big problem right now that I'm seeing, besides the snow, is the freezing rain. You're pushing lots of freezing rain here. And we know if you've ever been in an ice storm or a freezing rain event, when it comes down a lot, it will knock out power, and it will knock out power a long time. Okay. Areas in Kentucky back in 2008, I believe it was, saw a very significant ice storm, and they were out of power for weeks. Some areas, I mean, weeks and weeks. And that's very possible. Again, you don't want to rule that possibility out. So you need to be prepared, especially if you live in the Carolinas where this ice potential exists. We'll monitor the trends. This could change. This is not set in stone. Here's that low pressure system at 1,001 millibars finally shooting east from Mississippi, now hovering over the Georgia-South Carolina border. But now at this point, you have ice accumulating probably on the surfaces here in parts of North Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Heavy snow coming down across the Mid-Atlantic. 3 a.m. Monday morning. Okay, here's your 994 millibar low pressure. Okay, so that's pretty low now. We're below 1,000 all of a sudden. It's now making that turn towards the northeast. We know it was stationary here in Mississippi. It came east like this, and now it's pushing up towards the northeast, making a right turn, or I guess it'd be a left turn technically. And then you still have ice potential falling across portions of Virginia, but really heavy snow coming down across West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, northern Virginia, Pennsylvania is starting to get a little bit now. This is 3 a.m. on Monday. Let's go to 9 a.m. on Monday. 9 a.m. on Monday. Low pressure almost directly over Washington, D.C. We know D.C. has potential for heavy snow, and now look, it's raining. Right, so that potential anywhere from eastern portions of Virginia all the way up the coastline here, areas that might not see as much snow have the potential to see snow, and then it quickly transitions into rain. And that's kind of what we're seeing here on the Euro. Here's that heavy region of snow. And we'll compare this to the GFS before we go offline here right after I'm done with this. But you're seeing this heavy snowfall now falling as this 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Luckily, school is not in session because of the holiday, so that's good. I just now found that out 20 minutes ago. I'm sorry, this is now 9 a.m. Sorry. We were looking at 3 a.m. there for a second. This is 9 a.m. Sorry. Now 9 a.m. on Monday. My apologies. I was a little off. 9 a.m. on Monday. The low pressure now pushing across eastern Pennsylvania. Heavy snow band still pushing across Pennsylvania all the way up into New York. Lots of mixed precip. And look at all this rain up and down the eastern seaboard. Lots of rain potential according to the Euro. Let's back up to let's see, 6, 3, or 9, midnight, 3 a.m. So we're at 3 a.m. on Monday. Let's take a look at GFS. Just for fun, right? So GFS, almost a pretty similar event unfolding, yeah? So there's your 987 low pressure system. I think Euro had it maybe a little bit down here. Probably making a run like this as Euro goes like this. But look at all this rain potential across Jersey, Long Island. It transitions from heavy snow into that rain. I'll be curious to see what the ice potential down south is according to GFS. I wonder if it shows anything. It does. Okay. So even the GFS bumps with the potential for some heavy ice all the way up portions of North Georgia. It has a little bit further east, so maybe Atlanta dodging a bullet according to GFS. Even ice across Kentucky as well. Don't want to rule that area out because what's happening is the GFS has a little bit further north, right? So now your heavy snow is falling more along the lines of the Ohio River, and now you're getting that freezing rain there instead of a little bit further south. But heavy ice potential all up through the Carolinas. So if I live in like Raleigh, North Carolina, or anywhere in central North Carolina. And I'm looking at forecasts and I'm saying, okay, well, I have 2 long range forecast models that are telling me that's going to be ice event at the same time period, almost the same exact path, a little bit further north of the GFS, but that's expected. I'm going to be a little bit concerned. I'm thinking, okay, we're probably going to see some ice here. Not so much a snow threat anymore. It's more of an ice threat, which you'll still see snow, but that's what I would be more concerned with personally if I lived in that area. The Northeast, more concerned about the heavy snow potential, but yeah. Okay, let me get back to chat here. Let me ask any questions here before we go off. What do we have a upset Josh in the comments, or see people saying calm down, Josh? East Central, yeah, I know. Not a lot of snow coming down in East Central Illinois or West Central Indiana. Had a little bit of ice there last week, but yeah. Oh, Penn weather. Yeah. I forgot Penn weather. Central PA is not going to have LP moving through. Yeah, I think GFS is a little inaccurate on that. I think it comes a little bit. A lot of the ensembles though have it well out. I mean, a lot of the ensembles have it like out here, which is interesting. See how that plays out. Really hope DC gets a couple, and you might have the chance to see a couple inches there in DC. Yeah, so this map, okay, I see a couple of people asking about it. This map, okay, was drawn up by me this afternoon. This is not an indication on how heavy the snow is. This is just an indication on where models are kind of pushing the potential for the heaviest snow, right? So I want to draw it, and I wanted to keep the towns up there and the cities up there so you guys can see exactly what's happening. Okay, if I live in Charleston, West Virginia, I'm thinking, okay, I'm completely in the pink, so I have the potential to see heavy snow. But if I live in areas like Philadelphia, New York, Boston, where I'm right along the edge of that pink, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably going to see snow. Might not be a lot, could be a lot, but I think I'm going to transition into rain as well. So, because a lot of this blue along the coast here is going to see snow briefly, areas like Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, and then it's going to transition into rainfall. And it's potentially going to shift a little bit southeast where you do get those purples now in these major cities. So we'll see how it works. We'll just have to give it some time. Give it a couple days here, let things kind of agree a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. Can't wait for the snow. Yeah, man, I'm happy for you guys. I hope you guys get snow. You guys can take all of it. I'm not a fan of the snow at all. I'm not saying any snowfall totals. I do not release snowfall totals until I'm absolutely confident on what's going to happen. In being 4 days, 5 days out, the confidence level is medium right now. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen, and I'd rather not give you guys information that's inaccurate. You'll see a lot of Facebook posts, though, posting all kinds of snowfall totals. If you guys ever notice that when you're looking at snowfall totals on like Facebook, you could find 3 or 4 different like pages that are posting out 3 or 4 different snowfall totals. That's exactly the problem I'm avoiding. You'll get a lot of people that are like, no, I think we're going to see 8 to 12. No, I think we're going to see 6 to 8. No, I think we only get 4 to 6. You'll see it and you'll continue to see it. And then you won't know the exact amount you're going to get. That's why I'm not saying anything right now. We're going to wait for the weekend to come closer and we'll get a better snowfall total idea for you guys. I won't leave you in the dust, I promise. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe, just like Matt said there. Support the channel, support the information you're receiving. And then if you want to join the Discord chat and communicate with me on a daily basis and get access to more detailed forecasting that isn't provided on live streams, you guys can do that. I mean, it's provided on live stream, but it's more or less like it's easier for me to kind of go into detail a little bit better because then I don't have a million questions rolling in. Can I push the snow away from Westchester, New York? Hey, I know the feeling. I wish Central Indiana would never get it, but unfortunately we do. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't mind like one big snow event. Like, give me one big snowstorm, nice foot of snow. I stay inside for a few days, and then that's it. That's all I want. The top arrow's pointing right at you. Maybe I knew that. Thank you so much, Derek, for the subscription. Thank you, everybody, who subscribed. We've gone up a significant amount of subscriptions over the last. Well, I started doing live streaming on December 29th. No, because I was out in Alabama. I think it was December 30th was my first like live forecast discussion I did on this channel, and live weather coverage on New Year's Eve as well. And it just shot up from there. So thank you guys so much for being here. But as I was saying earlier, once I would say probably Friday or Saturday, we will be able to narrow down more accurate snowfall totals in this pink shaded region, right? Anywhere in this pink shaded region, you can expect snowfall accumulation. That's a guarantee. But the question is how much, and how much you're going to get in your particular city. We just don't know yet. It's all a waiting game. We'll get there. We'll figure it out together. But there's only so much I can actually talk about right now until we get better updates. But let's ask some final questions here. We're going to log off for the night. Thank you guys so much for the support. I've seen so many positive comments. I think all of Maryland has the potential to see some snow. I don't know if it transitioned into rain more of like upstate Maryland, but I think closer to DC, yes, it does. For now. That could change. People were panicking yesterday in the store. Where are you at, Maria? Out of curiosity. Do I think it's gonna be a bomb cyclone? No, probably not. Not as of right now, anyway. Bomb cyclone's kind of a made-up word. It's used now, but somebody made it up. I don't remember who made it up. Nashville, probably a chance to see some snow. Probably some decent snow. We'll update major cities like that across Tennessee and the Midwest and Northeast as the days go on, as we get closer. Philly, don't know the snow totals yet. Playing it by day. Like I said earlier, guys, you probably get on social media and you'll probably see just a massive amount of different forecasts and snowfall totals. I've already seen just numerous. Let's see, I think it was Pittsburgh. I saw one earlier that said 8 to 12 inches. Kind of laughed at that. And then I saw one like maybe 15 minutes later, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw one for like 4 to 8 inches. I was like, you guys are telling people of Pittsburgh 5 different forecast totals. And that's exactly why on this channel, I will not give you guys those totals until I am 100% sure that that's what's going to happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, though. I really appreciate it. We'll give it about another minute or so here of question answering. And then if you guys want to join that Discord, you're more than welcome to. On that Discord, you guys can ask more questions. Try to keep it slow on the questions on the Discord because obviously I don't want to get blown up with questions on there. I don't have a question time limit on there, so you're allowed to make as many comments as you want on that Discord. But if I have to, I'll turn on like a 60-second thing where you can't ask numerous questions over and over. So if you do join that Discord, take it slow, ask a question every now and then. I'll get you guys updates as much as I can. Yeah, so like Weather Channel said 8 to 12 inches in Gaffney. Yeah, that's way too early to say 8 to 12 in South Carolina. That's ridiculous. We don't know that yet. How long I've been doing Storm Chaser on this channel? This channel was started in December of 2019, I think. January 2019, maybe. Somewhere in 2019. I didn't really use it much up until this past year, and then I actually started uploading tornado footage during the season, and I just started doing live streaming at the end of last year. Weather Max hasn't released. See, Weather Max is smart. It's accuracy over hype. That's what I always say. And I'm actually going to make a shirt that says that. Accuracy over hype, right? You want accurate snowfall totals. You don't want to put anything out there that is wrong just to get people all worked up, because that's a lot of what networks will do. So they'll post wild snowfall totals to get people all worked up in that area, and they'll share the post, make the network a lot of money on advertisements, and the next thing you know, that area is only getting 4 inches. And then you're like, okay, well, they lied. Always go for accuracy. Who said what? Hold on. I missed it. I missed that comment. I hear a lot of people joining and talking in the Discord chat. Thanks everybody for joining that. It's gonna be cool. A lot of people in there where I can update you guys. You can see in that chat too, there's different rooms. That forecast room is used quite a bit, or will be anyway. I just opened it up like 2 days ago. How much snow in Miami? In Miami, what state? Florida? Probably not a whole lot. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to log off tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 6 o'clock p.m. Central. I know a lot of the region that's seeing snow is Eastern Time. So 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. We'll come back live. I'll have a different map up if it needs changed. If it's the same, then it's the same. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll talk about updated snowfall totals, where the storm has shifted, if it has shifted at all. And we'll talk about all that tomorrow, guys. But join the Discord chat, subscribe to the channel, like the video. We've been on for an hour and a half talking. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, join that Discord. Get in there before I log off. Click the link, get in there. It's absolutely free to sign up for. If you want to be a supporter of the YouTube channel, it's $2.99 a month. You can become a member of the channel. I know we have a lot of people doing that now, so thank you guys so much for that. But until next time, guys, I'm Zach Walters. Love one another. Be safe out there and enjoy your Wednesday.